You used to think that after experiencing a spiritual awakening, everything would continue to be bright and intense, like waves of energy that never stop. You are familiar with the feeling of excitement when you see a repeating number sequence, when your intuition guides you, when every small event has great meaning. And then, one day, everything suddenly became silent. No more signs, no more strange energies, no more universe whispers in your ear. Everything became strangely normal. Sometimes you will ask, "What's going on? Did I do something wrong?" The truth is, you didn't do anything wrong. That tranquility is the reward for the chaotic journey you just went through. It is not a scary void, but a necessary space for your mind and soul to harmonize in a new vibration. While you are still on the journey of searching, the universe must constantly send signals to remind you, to guide you, to motivate you to move forward. But once you have passed through the door of awakening, you no longer need those signs, because right now you are the sign. You don't need to look for a miracle, because you are living as part of one. This is the stage where you begin to learn how to be instead of pursue. There is no need to run after the light anymore because you have become that light. But this quietness can make you feel like you're stepping back, as if you've lost connection with your divine self or higher self. In fact, it is in silence that you can truly hear your inner voice. There is no more disturbance, no more echo from outside, only pure clarity coming from within. The stillness that follows awakening is not the end. It is a time when your soul is at peace, where you are no longer moved by extreme emotions or energy turbulence. That is where you truly live in presence. No need to do anything more, no need to prove, no need to sublimate anymore. And in that moment, you will suddenly realize you are no longer looking for a path, because you are already the path. After your soul passes through the door of awakening, everything seems to slow down. No more rolling waves of emotions, no more overwhelming spiritual signs. Instead, there was a deep stillness, an unusual feeling of stability, as if you had just returned home after a long journey. But when you think you're done, when you think your soul is at peace, your body starts to rebel, not by voice, but by silent signs. A strange tiredness in the middle of the day, an unusually deep sleep, a vague sadness that creeps in early in the morning. Your body starts sending its own messages, signals that make you confused and somewhat worried. You put your hand on your chest, feeling your heart beat fast even though it was nothing special. You meditate, but your hands feel numb. You eat a favorite food and suddenly feel uncomfortable. Everything that seemed familiar suddenly became strange, and you wonder, what is happening to me? The answer lies in, the soul has upgraded, but the body has not. Your soul is light, awareness, a stream of high energy moving gently through each level of reality. And the body, the physical vessel, has carried within it years, decades of memories, trauma, habits, and programming. And when your soul soars to a new level, your body needs time to catch up. It begins the process of adjustment, a profound, delicate, and sometimes chaotic journey. You may feel exhausted for no apparent reason. Simple things like shopping, cooking, or even talking can make you feel burdened. Don't be so quick to blame yourself. Your body is using all its energy to erase and rewrite, like a hard disk installing a new operating system. It needs you to rest. It needs you to listen. It needs you to accompany it without judgment. And then you will also notice the subtle changes taking place. Your skin is brighter. Your eyes are clearer. Your breathing is softer. But there can also be adverse reactions. You gain weight, have vague pain, or have sleep disorders. Sleep, the place you once considered an escape from the world, is now a land of deep purification. Dreams are so vivid and real, sometimes so strange that they wake you up in the middle of the night. Don't try to decode every dream. They do not come to be understood, but to be liberated. When you sleep, the subconscious mind is expanded, the deep layers of old energy begin to disintegrate, and the body will use dreams to take out the trash. Your taste also begins to change. The foods that once fascinated you are now heavy. The body begins to be selective. It prefers foods that are fresh, light, watery, and low in fat. There are days when you just want to drink water or eat fruit. There are mornings when you wake up and crave a cup of hot tea instead of your familiar coffee. That's when your body is moving towards cleanliness from within, not only to nourish, but also to raise vibrations. Then one day, you're walking in the park. The sky is blue, the sun is soft, everything is peaceful, when your tears suddenly fall. Not for anyone, not for anything. It's simply an old sadness that has just been awakened. A blurry memory just surfaced. An old wound that I thought had healed suddenly came back. And you feel yourself step back. But actually, it's not. You're not returning to the past, you're setting it free. Your body holds every memory, every unprocessed emotion, in every cell, every tissue, every blood vessel. When your soul upgrades, your body begins to release everything that is no longer suitable. That's why you feel old emotions rising up, not to punish you, but to let you see them and let them go one last time. And amidst all these transformations, the most beautiful thing is you begin to listen to your body with unprecedented tenderness. You no longer see it as a service tool. You begin to love it as a loyal companion, quietly enduring, persistently walking with you through the years. You start to sit with it, put your hand on your chest and say, "Thank you." And at that moment, your body begins to respond. It no longer resists. It softens, opens, and begins to vibrate at the same frequency as the soul. No more conflicts, no more internal battles. Everything begins to become one. You, with all your mind, body, and soul, become one, seamless, unified, radiant flow. Your body doesn't need you to push it. It just needs you to love it. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be young. You don't have to be healthy every day. You just have to be present with full acceptance and presence. And one day, when you walk in everyday life, there are still familiar streets, still old lights, but you will feel different. You will feel every step, every breath, every bird chirping, every cool breeze passing through your skin, as if everything is harmonizing with you in a silent song. That's when you know the body has caught up with the soul, and you, finally, have become a fully awakened being, from your heart to your muscles, bones, breath, and even the blood that silently flows in you every second. After the body begins to catch up with the soul, after months of harmony between mind and body, you feel like everything is ready for life to return to its normal trajectory. But then, something else begins to happen quietly. Not in your body, not from within, but from the people around you. You start to feel like something is wrong in familiar conversations. Friends who used to be able to sit and talk for hours suddenly became distant. Meetings that once made you excited are now just an obligation. Something no longer fits. You smile, you nod, you still participate. But inside you know clearly, the connection has loosened. This change is not noisy, not explosive. It comes silently, light as wind but strong enough to startle you. The best friend who once understood you best now doesn't understand what you're saying. The stories we once loved together have now become faded and meaningless. There are times when you come back from a meeting and feel empty, not because anyone hurt you, but because the energy is no longer compatible. And that's natural. When your soul changes, when you raise your vibrational frequency, the relationship must also shift. You are no longer the same person. The way you feel, think, love, react. Everything has become more subtle, deeper, and sometimes harder to understand. You have left the old grid, the energy system that once nourished you, and entered a new cycle where not everyone is still on the same frequency as you. It was hard to accept that at first, because the people who leave are sometimes the people you love the most. Is the person who held your hand through the dark times. Is the person who hugged you and cried, who listened to you tell your dreams. But the truth is, every person who appears in our lives has a specific role. Some people are lessons. Some people are the door. Some people are companions. But no one has an obligation to accompany us forever. When you start being true to yourself, you will see the things that are not true begin to leave you. Relationships built on expectations, dependencies, or habits will naturally crack. Not because who is right or who is wrong, but because the harmony is no longer there. Sometimes it's even you who initiates the withdrawal, not because you are arrogant or want to be higher than others, but because you no longer feel like explaining, wanting to strain yourself, wanting to shrink yourself to fit into old boxes. You choose silence. You choose to be alone. You choose to respect distance. And it is in that silence that loneliness appears. Not the loneliness of no one around, but a deep loneliness. Feeling like you no longer belong anywhere. No one really understands you. Even though you're standing in the middle of a crowd, you still feel like an outsider. Even if someone calls your name, it still sounds like it's echoing from afar. But don't be afraid yet. Loneliness after awakening is not a sign of the wrong path, but a threshold to step into a higher level of connection. It is the necessary space for new, deep, and truly compatible relationships to appear. You are stretching out, making space for more suitable souls to enter your life. And then one day, you will meet someone by chance. One look, one word, one presence. And you feel like you've known each other for a long time. No need to explain much. That person understands you. Without effort, the energy harmonizes. That is a sign that you have begun to connect with the soul tribe, like-minded souls who are walking on a similar journey. These people are not here to make you happy temporarily. They come to witness and support the truest version of you. Every conversation with them is like a mirror, helping you see yourself more clearly and also helping you see you are no longer alone. The old world cracks to make way for the new world, and you don't have to run around looking for those relationships. As long as you continue to be true, continue to keep your energy clean and honest, the universe will bring the people who need to meet you at the right time, in the right place. Believe that you have not lost anyone. You are just becoming so honest that what is no longer real dissolves on its own. Accept loneliness as part of your spiritual journey. It doesn't come to punish you. It comes for purification. And in the end, those who remain, or the new ones who will come, will be the souls who truly see you, understand you, and walk with you without you having to strain yourself to keep them. And when that happens, you will realize loneliness is not a scary void, but a silence deep enough for your soul to be connected by true love.